Good morning. This is cause number, good afternoon. This is cause number 2020-46213 in the interest of Mariah Harris. Please, all parties raise your right hand to be sworn.
Your Honor, no, this isn't. No, this is loyal in the interest of Loyalty Rife, Your Honor.
Loyalty Rife. Oh, okay. Do we have an order on that one?
Yes, I sent it to the printer. I don't know what she has in here.
Huh? This is Harris, Maria. This is Rife. Oh, is this a no contact protective order?
Yes, they do have a no contact protective order in this case, Your Honor.
Is it a default?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, she doesn't have that one yet. She's gonna get it. Okay.
Okay, and I just reprinted it just in case something happened, but I did just reprint it just in case something happened.
Okay. Oh, okay, it was underneath. All right, this is cause number 2020-08020 in the interest of Loyalty Rife. Rife. Okay, parties raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Quinae Thompson, and I am her mother.
Okay, counsel, your name and who you represent. Counsel?
Allison Myers, I represent Ms. Thompson.
Okay, for the state.
Sharday Parker, Your Honor.
Okay, it appears that the non-custodial parent Amir Rife is not present. He's not checked in. Is that correct, Ms. Parker?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
And has not filed an answer?
Yes, Your Honor, that is also correct.
Not made an appearance either, correct?
He has made an appearance. He made an appearance in October for
I see that.
Okay.
I see that. And that for a order for parentage testing, he signed that, and that order contained therein an order setting a hearing for today. And he is not checked in. Okay, let me enter that. All right, the non-custodial parent Amir Rife was personally served on August 13th, 2020 at 11:44 a.m. at 15215 Lantern Creek Lane in Houston, Harris County, Texas. He made an appearance in court and signed an order for parentage testing, which contained therein an order setting this matter for hearing for today, and he has not checked in. We will proceed by default.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would request that you take judicial notice of the parentage testing results that have been filed with the court in this case.
Let's see if I can find that. Have a DNA order? Oh, here it is. Okay, the court will note that the DNA test report would indicate that the alleged father, Amir Raif, is not excluded as the biological father of the tested child. Loyalty Raif, the child, is subject to this suit. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, the state would like to call Kwan Thompson.
Okay.
Ms. Thompson, can you state your name and your relationship to the child for the record?
Renee Thompson, I am her mother.
And are you the mother of Loyalty Rife?
Yes.
What is her date of birth?
12/22/19.
And who is Loyalty's father?
Amir Rife.
And you're not currently married, correct?
No.
And you weren't married when Loyalty was conceived, correct?
No.
And when Loyalty was born, you remember in the hospital Mr. Rife signing an AOP, correct?
Yes.
And the last time we were in court, you remember Mr. Rife was challenging the AOP and requested a DNA test, correct?
Yes.
And the results of that DNA test came back and confirmed that he is the father, correct?
Yes.
And you're requesting that this court establish a parent-child relationship between Amir and Loyalty, correct?
Yes.
And are you also requesting that you be named the sole managing conservator in this case?
Yes.
And do you currently, and you're also requesting that Mr. Rife be given no possession and access, correct?
Correct.
And currently you have a, Your Honor, can I, oh, here it is. I'm going to share my screen, Your Honor. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Oh, okay, I can't do it. Okay, but currently you have a protective order in place against Mr. Rife, correct?
Yes.
And that protective order covers covers the child that's subject to this suit, Loyalty, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and there's also a criminal complaint against Mr. Rife also, correct?
Yes.
And that is for the that's in the that's for the misdemeanor charge of terroristic threats, correct?
Yes.
And those threats were against you and your children, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you believe that it is in your daughter's best interest for him not to have any visitation, correct?
Yes.
And you're requesting that you be appointed the sole managing conservator and the managing conservator with the exclusive right to designate the primary residence without a geographic restriction, correct? I couldn't hear you, Ms. Thompson.
Yes. Correct.
Oh, okay. And are you aware of Mr. Rife working?
No.
And when you guys were in a dating relationship, did he ever work a job with verifiable income?
No.
Okay. And do you currently have private health or dental insurance available at a reasonable cost to you for Loyalty?
We have Medicaid.
Okay. And are you requesting that this court order cash medical support in the amount of $75 based on the minimum wage presumption beginning on March 1st, 2021?
Yes.
And are you also requesting that child support be ordered based on the minimum wage presumption at the amount of $213 to begin on March 1st, 2021?
Yes.
And are you also requesting that a retroactive child support judgment be taken against Mr. Rife, correct?
Yes.
And that would be that retroactive child support judgment is in the amount of $3,195, correct?
Yes.
And that's from the time period of that's from the time period of December 22nd, 2019 until February 22nd, 2021, correct?
Correct.
You're requesting for that to be paid back at $66 per month, correct?
Correct.
Beginning on March 1st, 2021, correct?
Yes.
And you're also requesting that Mr. Rife be responsible for 50% of all uncovered healthcare expenses, correct?
Yes.
And you're also requesting that your address not be disclosed in this order, correct? Your address and your
Correct.
phone number, you're requesting a non-disclosure, correct?
Yes.
And you have safety concerns with your address or your phone number being listed in this order or Mr. Rife having access to that, correct?
Yes.
And what are those safety concerns?
His violent behavior.
Okay, and do you fear that undue harm, abuse, or harassment would come to you or your children if he had access to this information?
Yes.
And so you're asking the court to grant the non-disclosure of information and make findings regarding the disclosure of information, correct?
Yes.
You're also asking that Mr. Rife be ordered to pay all court costs as billed by May 22nd, 2021, correct?
Yes.
And you're also asking that you filed a counter petition in this case, correct?
Yes.
And in that counter petition, you requested that Loyalty's last name be changed to your last name, correct?
Yes.
And you also requested that some permanent injunctions be put in place, correct?
Yes.
And okay, and you're asking this court to grant the default judgment, correct?
Yes.
And you believe this order will be in the best interest of your child, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have no further questions. I pass the witness to Ms. Myers.
All right, Ms. Myers.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Just a few follow-up questions regarding Mr. Rife's access to loyalty. So you testified that you're asking the court to deny him any access or possession of loyalty, correct?
Yes.
And you also testified that there's a protective order in place, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I share the screen? Oh, can you?
You know, I have CP1, CP2, CP3 over here in front of me. Are you going to
Okay,
introduce those?
fantastic. Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, I'd like to offer counter petitioners 1, which is a certified copy of the no contact protective order.
Any objections, Ms. Parker?
No, Your Honor, the state has no objections.
All right, CP1 admitted.
Thank you. And what we mean by no contact order is that Mr. Rife is prohibited from communicating with you or any of your children except through an attorney, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And in support of that protective order, you submitted an affidavit, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd now like to offer into evidence counter petitioners 3.
Your Honor, the state has no objections.
All right, CP3 is the affidavit in support of application for protective order and temporary ex parte protective orders is admitted.
Thank you. So, Ms. Thompson, will you briefly summarize the facts and what happened that led to you requesting a protective order?
Right after I had my baby, a situation happened where a very close friend of mine gave me a call. She asked if I would take her to look at a car. I was actually grocery shopping at the time. Amir was like right down the street. As I was leaving the grocery store, he called me. He asked me what I was doing. I told him I was about to go take my friend to get a car. And he asked if him and his cousin can come with us. Um, I asked her if that was okay for him to come. She said yes. So I picked them up on our way there. Well, when we got there, she was very polite. She invited us in. Um, and
Did anything happen? Did anything happen that concerned you or put loyalty in danger?
Yes.
What happened?
When we got to the car dealership, Amir was mad because I told my friend that he talked about our child in a very disrespectful way. He said he was just joking, but none of us took it as a joke. He was already intoxicated and he had been smoking. So he became very verbally abusive. He threatened to take my baby. He told me I would never see her again. I tried to call his family so that they can come pick him up. They never came to pick him up. So at that time, I had to figure out what I was going to do in that moment. I actually, I was very emotional. I was crying. My kids were crying. Um,
Are we describing
Did Mr.
CP3, the affidavit? Is that what she's
Yes, Your Honor.
describing?
Yes.
All right, well, I can read it. It's been admitted into evidence, correct?
Okay. All right, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you very much. So let's move on. Was Mr. Rife arrested?
yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I'd now like to offer into evidence counter petitioners 4, which is a certified copy of the criminal complaint.
Any objection, Ms. Barker?
No, Your Honor.
All right, CP4 is admitted.
Okay. So based upon the history of threats and violent acts toward you in your affidavit, as well as the criminal complaint, do you think that loyalty would be safe if Mr. Rife was allowed any possession or access to her?
No, I do not.
Okay. Since the protective order was put in place, has he had any possession or access to her?
No.
Okay. And do you think that that's in the best interest of loyalty?
Yes.
Okay. Now, with regard to child support, are you asking that child support be ordered at $213 a month?
Yes.
Okay. And are you also asking that the court order retroactive child support from royalty's birth until today?
Yes.
And that amount of retroactive child support is contained in the proposed order that's been presented to this court, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And we're also requesting that Mr. Rife pay that retroactive child support at an amount that's also provided in the order, correct?
Yes.
Now, you testified that you're asking the court to order Loyalty's last name be changed. Why is that?
My other children actually have my last name, and he kind of pressured me into her having his last name, but he's not here. So I feel like she should have my last name.
So you and your other children that reside in your home all have the last name of Thompson. Is that correct?
Well, I'm also in the process of getting my middle child's last name changed as well.
Okay. And so just for continuity in the family and between the siblings, do you feel that it is in the best interest of Loyalty that her name be changed?
Yes.
And we prepared a request for relief, which spells out all the requests that you're asking today, correct, including the injunctions. Your Honor, I'd like to offer into evidence counter petitioners 5, which is our requested relief.
Your Honor, the state has no objection.
Hold on a minute. Let me look at this. Well, the order is, in fact, seems to follow this requested relief. Is there any reason to introduce this into evidence?
No, just, no,
Okay,
Your Honor.
I'm going to approve the order. So.
Okay, all right,
All
all
right.
right. Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Anything further, Ms. Parker?
No, Your Honor, nothing further.
All right. Any further witnesses, Ms. Myers?
No, Your Honor.
All right. The court will approve the order as submitted. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, you guys are free to go. Since we've already signed it, you guys are free to go.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Parker.
you.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Ms. Myers.
I don't know what I'm going to do. Here's the order. These were not admitted.